I am looking at the stars. They're so far away, and their light takes so long to reach us. All we ever see of stars are their old photographs. It is July 1959, and I am in love.
Great. Pick it up tomorrow.
Okay.
75 cents.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Gosh, Sean, I wish you gave us a little notice. I'm sure I made a face.
Oh, no. I'm sure that you'll look beautiful. Her name is Janie Slater. She is a physicist, like me. I am 30 years old. We were introduced by a good friend of mine from college, Wally Weaver. It is February 12th, 1981. Wally dies of cancer, of which they now say I am the cause. That night, Janie and I make love for the first time. A month from now, the accident awaits me.
Good, healthy appetite. Oh, I'll catch up with you guys. I think I left my watch inside.
Hey, let's just wait a second.
I cross the room to the intrinsic field center. I find my watch. When I get to the door, Wally is turning white.
The program's locked in. We can't override the time lock.
I am terrified.
John? I'm sorry, John. But I can't.
Hey, don't leave me! Don't leave me!
It is May 12th, 1959, when I'm introduced to Janie. She buys me a beer. The first time a woman has done this for me. As she passes me the cold, perspiring glass, our fingers touch.
Yes, John. Good. Now it's just a question of reassembling the components in the correct sequence.
I feel fear for the last time. A token funeral is held. There is nothing to bury. Janie frames the snapshot. It's the only photograph of me anyone has. A circulatory system is seen by the perimeter fence. A few days later, a partially muscled skeleton stands in the hallway and screams for a moment before vanishing.
Oh, God. John?
Is that you?
Nations around the world still reeling from this morning's announcement, possibly the most significant event in recent history. We repeat, the Superman exists, and he is American.
They call me Dr. Manhattan. They explain the name has been chosen for the ominous associations it will raise in America's enemies. They are shaping me into something gaudy, something lethal. In January 1971, President Nixon asks me to intervene in Vietnam, something that his predecessors would not ask. A week later, the conflict ends. Some of the Viet Cong forces want to surrender to me personally. Hollis Mason, a retired costume hero, writes a book. In it, he calls my arrival the dawn of the superhero. I am not sure if I know what that means.
You see, at the time, I was misquoted. I never said the Superman exists and he is American. What I said was, God exists and he is American. Now, if you begin to feel an intense and crushing feeling of religious terror at the concept, don't be alarmed. That indicates only that you are still sane.
It is Christmas 1963. Janie tells me she is afraid and worried. She says I am like a god now. I tell her I don't think there is a god. And if there is, I'm nothing like him. I tell her I still want her. And that I always will. As I lie to her, it is September 4th, 1970. I am in a room full of people wearing disguises. A very young girl looks at me and smiles. She's beautiful. After each long kiss, she plants a smaller, gentler one upon my lips, like a signature. Janie accuses me of chasing jailbait. She bursts into angry tears, asking if it's because she's getting older. It's true. She's aging more noticeably every day. While I am standing still, I prefer the stillness here. I am tired of Earth, these people. I'm tired of being caught in the tangle of their lives. They claim their labors are to build a heaven, yet their heaven is populated with horrors. Perhaps the world is not made. Perhaps nothing is made. A clock without a craftsman. It's too late. Always has been. Always will be. Too late.